Hello, Scouter Richard here. Now we're going to be covering the WeatherRock for the beavers. Now, for the WeatherRock, the beavers are going to actually have to learn how to make the 8 knot. So part of the process of this is actually going to show you some tricks on how to teach them. Now, in the kit, you're going to have already pre-cut some cord. You're going to have a dowel that's going to have a small hole already drilled into it. You're going to have your base plate. And you're going to have your WeatherRock, which will have, maybe not exactly like this, but it's going to have a small little mount on there so that you can attach the string to it. Now, best thing to do is hold back the rocks at the very start. What you want to do is give them the string and teach them how to do an 8 knot. And once they've done the 8 knot and they showed it to you, that's when they can select the rocks. That way you prevent a whole dash for the youth actually trying to grab the rocks that they want. Tie the 8 knot, then you can select. Now, the easiest way to tie an 8 knot for a beaver is you have them make a loop, and what we call this, make an alien head. What you then do is you take the alien arm, you wrap it around his neck, and then you poke him in the eye. Right through like that. And there's your 8 knot. And we'll show that again when we attach everything together. Now the string's going to have enough length so that if the youth actually does leave a lot of actual cord, it won't make a difference. Now, the next step, the youth shows the 8 knot. Take a look, good 8 knot. They can select their rock. And all they need to do is stick the cord through the hole. And there is your WeatherRock holder. Now, move that aside. The dowel, this is part of the stand. They're going to apply a little bit of glue to the hole. I'm not going to do that because I'll glue it to the table. Get it glued in. Don't worry about the hole being aligned properly. If it's a little bit sideways or off to the side, it doesn't matter. You don't have to go crazy on that. Just make sure the hole is at the top and not at the bottom. At this point, now the glue that we use, and I do recommend this glue, this is not a free promotion for LePage, but anytime you do any woodwork with beavers or cubs, this one is excellent. In 10 minutes you have something that's structurally sound. It dries very quickly, and any project where you want to have some functionality halfway through your meeting, it basically delivers. So, back to the WeatherRock. At this point, even though if the glue hasn't even held, doesn't matter at this point. What you're going to then do is have the youth. Now, they might want to sort of have it on the side here so they don't have to pull it up. They're going to have to poke it through the hole. Some of them will have trouble with that, but you'll get through it. And make your alien, wrap his arm around his neck, and stab him in the eye. 8 knot. Bring everything up, and there's your WeatherRock. Now, at the start of the WeatherRock station, what you're going to want to do is actually explain to them how the WeatherRock works. And this is more of an entertainment process with them. You're going to come up with the effects, and they're going to come up with the causes. And once they start getting the hang of it, you're going to actually have a lot of fun in the process. So how the WeatherRock works is it's a weather instrument, and it's going to tell you very accurately how the weather is doing outside. So they would take their WeatherRock, put it outside so it's in view of the window, and some very simple processes. Now we're going to have some water, and the best thing to do is squirt the rock with some water, and you explain to them is when the rock is wet, what's it doing outside? And you'll have a couple of them that are going to say, it's raining. There we go, it's working. Now, if the rock has some white stuff on top of it, some of them are gonna yell out, "It's snowing." Now, pretty much by this point, all of them will actually have the idea of what's going on. Then, you're gonna explain, if the rock is swaying, it's windy. If the rock is bouncing, it's an earthquake. If the rock is missing, it's a tornado. If the rock is underwater, this might take them a few seconds, it's a flood. And you're actually going to have a whole list, which actually is going to be printed on the actual surface here. But as you're explaining it to them, as you're going through the list, have them do the answers, and you're going to have a blast with it. They're going to get really into it. And that is how a WeatherRock works.